Hi, welcome to Ecarte's Crossing as we look at the week ahead reading. So let's have a look and see what are we going to look at this week? What are we going to reflect on? What's important for us as a collective? Okay, it feels like we need to sort of listen to the messages that are sort of coming through for the week. Sort of remember to sort of trust in our sort of energy that's coming in, being able to sort of persevere, keep going, don't give up sort of energy. Making sure that we look at things with a clear view seems to be quite important, to make sure that we don't feel like we are stuck or we're frozen in this moment. I think that's really important, to make sure that we're able to sort of keep going, don't give up, know that we're survivors in what's going on, or that we're a sense of we're able to sort of take a moment to pause, to reflect, to think about our goals and what lies ahead. So that's why I get that sense of persevering. You know, don't be in a rush all the time. I think it's quite important not to rush into things without really sort of thinking too much about them. Maybe taking our time to sort of reflect so we don't feel stuck and frozen. Enabling us to look at what are we actually focusing on, which is really important. There's this thing about not worrying about spilt milk. Don't worry about those things that, there are some things in life we cannot control. We can acknowledge them, but don't dwell on those things. We don't want to bring that into our journey emotionally. It's all about our emotions, and so we need to find a way to sort of overcome those struggles, those challenges we have, by choosing what we focus on in this journey here. So I think it's going to allow us to have that sense of new beginning. Feels like this is quite an emotional energy, a lot of sort of passion, that coming in. It's quite interesting because we're getting a lot of wands and a lot of cups, so there's a lot of energy going on. I feel like there's a lot of sort of quick energy happening. Things are happening quite quickly emotionally. Feels quite overwhelming, but there's a lot of stuff that can be sort of overcome and giving us that possibility of new beginnings this week. So it does feel as though there could be some new beginnings happening on some level. Seems to be quite important here. So we have, okay, again, I get this feeling of being, coming out of the cold. It feels like, maybe things are a little bit, we're feeling a bit sort of poor me sort of energy, and that's what we sort of got to come out of those struggles to deal with the poverty, or that feeling of things being overwhelming for us, being able to deal with those challenges. Feels like it's going to be a week. There will be some challenges to the week overall in regards to our emotions, in regards to where we're moving forward. So we've got to make sure that we awaken, that we're aware to the energy, that we resurrect what's important in our life. Look at what's of value to our journey here. Super important to look at what's of value. Again, 5 of Swords. Okay, so we're getting a lot about conflicts, challenges, arguments, disagreements, fights. I do feel like there's this thing of feeling like, when we've got the 5 of Cups, 5 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, you've got all that 5 energy. So there's a lot of stuff to overcome. There's a lot of challenges to sort of move through, and it's sort of that facing those challenges sort of a little bit head on, looking at what we're actually what's important, because there's some things that we cannot control and there's some things that we can. So it's important to look at the things, you can acknowledge what you cannot control, but don't dwell on it. And so we have this moment of isolation, this moment of just sort of taking a breath, to reflect, to meditate on what's important, to gain wisdom, to gain the knowledge that we need to be able to find that light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. So I feel like it's really important this week to just sort of I get a lot about just taking a breath and being able to sort of breathe and just sort of take a moment to reflect and contemplate, and to allow yourself, give yourself permission to sort of move forward, to persevere, to keep going. And I think that can be quite a challenge on your journey. So it's going to be quite a big week. So we've got Echoes of Nature, which is another of Tarot Oracles. So we had Tasty Tarot and Oracles. Echo of Nature Oracle. So let's have a look. What cards are we going to pull out here? So the first card we have here is Taking the Shortcut. So maybe this is more about, to me, I get the sense of the shortcut is not necessarily the shortest route, so to speak, when you're talking about length of the path that you're taking, but the sense of, you know, taking things slowly, taking things calmly, and being able to sort of, I get that sense of sometimes less haste is more, I don't know where this came from, I just get less haste is more pace, so to speak, as though the less you know, this, if you slow down, you can move things quite quickly through the pathway. You don't always have to be in a hurry all the time, and it's going to bring in some big opportunities to you. Interesting. Sometimes it's the path less travelled can be the shortest path. Interesting. So sometimes it's not what everybody else is doing, it's what's right for you. That's totally important for you to be able to have the opportunities available to you, and enabling you to sort of open up to whatever's on the horizon for you. Is sometimes the path is not what everybody else is doing, but what's important to you is going to be your shortcut. Sometimes when we do what everybody else is doing, it can actually take the longest time, you know, because it might not suit us. So it's finding what works is going to enable us to actually move forward on our journey. What an interesting reading that is for the week ahead. Okay, so that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care. Blessed be.